How's it going, everybody? Last week I showed you guys how we measure and mark a board and how we secure that board to a cutting surface such as this table so that I can safely saw this off without that board flying all over the place. Okay? Today I'm going to show you how we saw that off. To saw that off, I'm going to use a handheld jig saw. This is an electric saw, as you can see here with its cord, and the first thing I want to do is get my cord unwrapped and get any twists or turns out of that cord. On the top here, I have a speed control. 1 is my slowest speed, 7 is my fastest speed, and when I cut with this thing, I want to cut for the first time. Say this is my first time trying this, I'm going to cut at middle speed, 3.5. As a righty, my right hand is my trigger hand, and my left hand goes in front here. Lefties, just the opposite. Trigger hand, guide hand. Especially when this is plugged in, you do not want your fingers down below this red bar here. This is the blade zone. If you look at this blade, it's very similar to a steak knife. And if you got your fingers anywhere near that, while that's plugged in and you turn that blade on, that will cut your fingers very badly. So I don't want my fingers ever below the blade zone. This part here is the hold down. This needs to stay completely flat while I'm cutting. Before I plug this thing in, I want to first align my saw, and I want to also do my own safety precautions, roll my sleeves. If I have hoodie strings or something like that, you want to tuck those in and make sure you have glasses on, okay? So I'm going to align my saw first, and if you come in close, you can see here, I want to get my blade lined up directly on that pencil mark that I made. As I cut, I need to keep this hold down piece completely flat. If I tip this forward or backwards or side to side while I'm cutting, it's going to cause this to vibrate and bounce. So I want to keep this completely flat and cut along that mark. When I'm ready, I'm going to set my saw down. I'll plug it into my cord here. And I want to take this cord, and I like to use my clamp to keep this cord out of the way so it doesn't fly in front of the saw blade while I'm cutting. Because obviously it would be very bad if I saw it through this blade, or through that cord with the blade. So with that tucked over there, this cord can't get in my blade path. I'm going to set this on here. And again, I'm lining my blade up right on my pencil mark. And as I cut, I want to press gently down and gently forward. You don't have to press hard. This saw will pull itself right along as you cut. So, trigger hand, guide hand, and I'm ready to cut here. Pressing down and forward. When I get down to the end there, and there's about an inch left, okay, so I don't accidentally lunge forward with this blade, I want to stop just for a second, and I'm going to take my off hand and hold on to this piece so that when I do cut through the other side, it won't fall on the ground. And I'm going to very gently trigger, trigger, trigger the rest of the way through. Board off, saw down, and immediately unplug when you're finished, so you don't accidentally squeeze that trigger with your fingers in a bad area. So there you go. That's how you saw off your piece.